Okay, good morning, children. Yesterday in the previous video, one physical property was left out that I'm covering it here. That is boiling boiling point. Boiling point. We were discussing about alkanes. Boiling point of alkanes. Methane. Suppose next homologue is ethane. Next higher homologue propane. Next higher homologue butane. So what happens is that boiling point from methane to ethane to propane to butane, it will increase. This property is not only in alkane, in all homologous series, and this thing will happen as we go from one member to a higher member due to increase in the molecular mass. Due to increase in the molecular mass, the boiling point or the melting point is going to increase. It is because with increase in the molecular mass, there occurs increase in the intermolecular forces, and that's why the boiling point increases. Now, let us consider a case of isomeric compounds or isomeric alkanes. Say alkane with composition C5H12, that is pentane. Now, how many isomers are possible with pentane? First we can keep the carbon in straight. Then we can keep four carbon in straight and one branch. Third, we can keep, of course we cannot keep carbon here in the another one. Then we can keep three carbon in straight and one here, one here. So I think only these three are possible now. In the end, we can put the hydrogen. So here CH3, CH2, 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 CH3, and here it will be CH3, CH2, CH3, CH3, and here it will be one valency left, CH. And here CH3, CH3, CH3. So pentane has three isomers. How we can name these three isomers? Like this is normal pentane. Normal pentane where all the carbon are straight. This one is isopentane. This group, because of that, is isopentane. Common name is isopentane. IUPAC name will be 2-methyl-butane. And this compound, common name will be neopentane. Neopentane, common name, and its IUPAC name will be 2,2-dimethylpropane. So, you see, all of them has same molecular mass, but will their boiling point be same or different? The boiling point will be different, and boiling point increases in this way. That means the boiling point of normal pentane will be the highest of the three. Boiling point of neopentane will be the least. Why it is like this? It is because here, this compound, there is branching, lot of branching, and because of branching, this molecule is spherical. This molecule is spherical, and sphere has a minimum surface area. So this molecule has least surface area. This molecule will have this surface area, and because of this surface area, molecule or intermolecular force of attraction will be least here, and that's why its boiling point will be least. Whereas in this case it is a straight compound. Straight compound are having more surface area, and because of that, intermolecular force of attraction will be strongest here, and that is the reason why boiling point of M pentane out of the three will be the highest. So this you should remember as a principle. It can be applied in so many other cases in organic compound, that as there is more and more branching, the molecule will become more and more spherical, and if it is more and more spherical, then intermolecular force of attraction is going to be less. So this is about boiling point in case of isomeric compounds. Okay, so this was missing in the previous video, so I have covered it here. Another thing was left out. Initial part was left out. Initial part was left out. That is it was about halogenation. Halogenation, the first chemical property of alkane was left out. Initial part was left out. So halogenation means what? Suppose methane plus chlorine in presence of sunlight. In presence of sunlight, we get this product, CH3Cl plus HCl. So here what has happened, you can see here one H from here has gone out and Cl has come out. Cl has come in. So that's a substitution. So this is a substitution reaction, and this can further continue. CH3Cl plus Cl2. Again in presence of sunlight. Now here we can also mention about this thing, H nu. Sometimes we find H nu. This H nu stands for energy of photon that is present in sunlight. So it will be, again one hydrogen will be substituted by chlorine to get this compound. So in this way it will continue, CH2 Cl2 plus Cl2. I think in the previous video it was from here. This on this were missing, that's why I covered it. H nu will be CHCl3 plus HCl, and finally CHCl3 plus Cl2 H nu CCl4 plus HCl. So, and you will find the mechanism of this reaction. We have already found the mechanism of this reaction. This follows free radical mechanism, that is it is there in that video. Now let me tell you about the names of this compound. This is common name methyl chloride, IUPAC name chloromethane. Common name, it is your methylene dichloride, IUPAC name dichloromethane. This is common name is chloroform, IUPAC name trichloromethane. Common name it is carbon tetrachloride, and the IUPAC name tetrachloromethane. So this much was there. Now you will get the subsequent portion. Okay, children, now the next chemical property you see is combustion. You know that alkanes are very good fuels. So this is about that thing. Alkanes, they can be burned in presence of oxygen, and whatever be the alkane, on complete burning, we get carbon dioxide and water vapor as the product. So these are the products, but more important about this combustion reaction is that a lot of heat energy is released here. That heat energy we make use in doing useful work. So this is combustion, and now this is controlled oxidation. You should know this thing that combustion means rapid oxidation. And here we have controlled oxidation means we are carrying out oxidation in a controlled manner. So you see here this reaction, methane, when it is oxidized in presence of copper at 523 Kelvin temperature under 100 atmospheric pressure. You see, condition is very important here, and we get methyl alcohol. Methane, in another condition, in presence of molybdenum trioxide as catalyst, we get formaldehyde and water. So under different conditions, we get different products. Ethane in presence of oxygen with manganese acetate as catalyst, we get acetic acid plus water. So you try to remember these reactions. These are the controlled oxidation of alkane. Next chemical property is isomerization. Isomerization, it's a chemical reaction, where we get the isomer of that compound. Suppose here you see this is there are how many carbon? 6 carbon. So it is a normal hexane. It's a normal hexane. All the carbon are straight, and this, when treated with aluminum chloride in presence of HCl, also we need to heat it. Then we get, this compound. You see the composition here and composition here is same thing. Okay, here also 6 carbon atom, here also 6 carbon atom. So this is an isomer of this compound. So on heating with aluminum chloride in presence of HCl, we get isomer of alkane, and that's called isomerization reaction. We may get this isomer, or we may also get this isomer. Now, as you can see, organic reaction generally we do not balance. Okay, so this is not balanced. You can see this is not balanced. You can get this one. Reaction can go from here to here, or it can go from here to here. Next reaction here is aromatization. Aromatization. You know that benzene is an aromatic compound. Benzene is an aromatic compound. Now you see here we are starting with normal hexane. Here the carbon atoms are straight. It's not a dim compound. Be careful. It's a straight chain compound, and this, when it heated at 773 Kelvin temperature under 10 to 20 atmospheric pressure, it's a very high pressure, drastic condition, and in presence of this catalyst, chromic oxide or vanadium pentoxide as catalyst, then what happens, you can see, is the aliphatic compound is changing into aromatic compound. Aliphatic compound is changing into aromatic compound. So this is called aromatization. Okay, so here I can give you a question here. Suppose hexane. From hexane we are getting benzene. What will we get if we take here heptane? Just try to find out. If you take here heptane, then what will we get? Another reaction is a reaction with steam. Just we have learned this. Methane, steam, in presence of nickel as catalyst, we get a mixture of carbon monoxide and water. Carbon monoxide and water, and an equimolar mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen is called water gas. equimolecular mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen is called water gas, and water gas is an excellent fuel. Okay. Next is your pyrolysis. Okay, pyrolysis, or it is also known as cracking. So here, what happens, is higher hydrocarbons. Higher hydrocarbons are heated strongly, and on heating, this higher hydrocarbon breaks down into smaller hydrocarbon. For example, you can see a C6H14, it can break down, and here we get your propene, here we get ethene, and we get what? Methane. So it is breaking down into smaller fragments, and this is called pyrolysis or cracking. What is the importance of pyrolysis? Let me tell you here is that alkanes are fuels, but it's very difficult to burn higher alkanes. Okay, it's very difficult to carry out combustion of higher alkanes. So to make it easy, before combustion, the higher alkenes are cracked. Higher alkenes are cracked to get lower fragments, and these lower fragments can be easily burned. For example, that in metros we have CNG vehicles, and in CNG this is a main component in CNG, methane in CNG gases, and why CNG vehicles cause less pollution, because in CNG fuel methane is used as a fuel, and methane gets burned very easily without causing any pollution. Complete burning takes place of methane, and that is the reason why that is the reason why pyrolysis or cracking is very important. Bigger hydrocarbons are converted into smaller hydrocarbons by the process called pyrolysis or cracking. And this thing also you should know that when fuel are burned, when fuels are burned, and if the burning doesn't take place completely, then unburned carbon particles will be formed. Then there may be carbon monoxide formed. Then there occurs what? Pollution. So that is the reason why vehicles, regular servicing of vehicles engine is required, so that the fuel gets burned completely and there is no pollution. If on burning fuel only carbon dioxide and water vapor is produced, there is no pollution. Pollution will be there only if combustion is not complete, and we get here carbon monoxide, we get here some carbon particles, and so on. So children, so this much is for chemical property of alkanes. The next video that will come up to you, will be regarding alkenes. So we'll be doing the same way, preparation of alkenes, and we'll discuss about the properties of alkene. Till then, have a good day.